As we go on the air at 4, new developments in the mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Investigators have ruled out terror as a motive, but they're still trying to piece together exactly what led to that deadly shooting spree. One woman was killed. Police now say at least 24 people were injured. Good afternoon, I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. NBC's Jay Gray reports from Union Station where the parade ended and that shooting began.
I can see people jumping the fence.
Investigators now say the gunshots that ripped through a crowd of hundreds of thousands at the Chiefs Super Bowl parade in Kansas City were not fired by terrorists or violent extremists.
This appeared to be a dispute between several people that ended in gunfire.
Gunfire that killed 43-year-old Lisa Lopez Galvan, a popular local radio host, and her family says a huge Chiefs fan. Police confirming her death and upping the number of wounded or injured to 22.
I didn't even know I was shot.
Emily Tavis, her husband Jacob Gooch Sr., and his 13-year-old son all hit during the shooting spree. None of their wounds life-threatening.
I mean, it's just senseless. It's senseless. You're not going to make sense of it.
Still, investigators are trying to piece together how and why it happened. 3 suspects are in custody. 2, we've learned, are juveniles. The third, an adult tackled during the chaos by fans.
It was just a reaction. When I was taking him down, I seen the weapon fall to the ground. So I knew right then and there, I'm like, okay, he's got one weapon, but this one's on the ground. He may have another one. I need to take him to the ground, and I need to keep him on the ground.
Police, joined by federal agents now, continuing what they say will be a long and detailed investigation. A major focus of that investigation right now centered on bullets and shell casings found here at the scene. Police not ruling out the possibility that evidence could lead to more suspects in this case. Jay Gray, NBC News, Kansas City.
5 on your side will continue to follow the latest developments from Kansas City. Look for updates on air, online, and on the 5 on your side app.
All right, let's take a live look outside. Sunny and in the 50s this afternoon. Definitely cooler than yesterday, but wait until tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here with the Weather First forecast.
There are changes afoot, that's for sure. Temperatures are still in the 50s around St. Louis right now. And yes, a bright sunny sky all across the St. Louis area at this hour. And the anticipation is we'll stay pretty much clear through the early evening hours, and then the clouds will start to roll in. 53 in Forest Park, Cahokia Heights at 54. Yes, it's relatively mild now, but your cold air is not that far away. Des Moines at 38, 41 right now, Lincoln and Omaha. And we're already starting to see a little snow breaking out on the radar screen now across parts of South Dakota into Nebraska. That's the area we're going to be following overnight tonight into very early tomorrow morning. An area of rain and then a little sleet and then snow will spread through the bi-state area. We do think that we'll quickly go over to snow in St. Louis once this starts, but it probably does start towards the middle or end of the morning rush hour as a rain or rain-sleet mix before going over to snow. It's not going to be a huge amount. We will have a weather alert day for Friday because the roads will be wet and perhaps slushy. We do have a winter weather advisory that goes into effect early tomorrow morning for our far northern counties, but not St. Louis. The snow will end late in the afternoon. We'll watch for those slushy roads, especially when the snow's coming down a little more intense. And that could happen mainly north of Interstate 70 as we head through tomorrow morning and through the midday hours. See you in a few minutes and we'll track it further, Kay.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Scott. You can stay ahead of the winter weather anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355 and we'll send that forecast straight to your phone.
Now at 4, we now know the names of a mother and daughter killed in downtown St. Louis after a concert. Investigators say the 22-year-old man was running red lights at a high rate of speed when he sideswiped a car at 18th and Olive early Wednesday morning. That car hit Leticia Bracero and Elisa Cordova, who were walking in the crosswalk following the Drake concert at Enterprise. They were visiting from Chicago. Right now, the driver is still in the hospital. Charges have not been filed at this time.
More developments tonight in the case of an alleged DWI involving the Washington County prosecutor. It all happened last summer, but the sheriff's office just applied for charges against the prosecutor this week. 5 on your side's Christine Byers is here with what the sheriff and prosecutor have to say for themselves. Christine?
Kate, prosecutors and sheriffs have to have a good working relationship to ensure criminals are held accountable. But that relationship in Washington County is now on ice after the sheriff's department applied for a DWI warrant against the prosecutor. Police documents show the prosecutor John Jones IV crashed into a cross outside this building at about 2:15 a.m. July 5th. Jones then called a deputy's personal cell phone to report the accident and property damage. The deputy says he saw signs of impairment, including slurred speech and an empty bottle of rum under the driver's seat of the prosecutor's truck. But he never administered any sobriety tests because he felt intimidated by the prosecutor's position. Fast forward to now, and Sheriff Zach Jacobson says the deputy is pursuing DWI charges despite the mistakes made at the scene.
Why put all these other people in the middle of this? We're adults. I just owned my people's situation. Can you own yours?
The prosecutor sent us a statement which read, "When this accident occurred, I called a deputy to do a report. 2 Washington County deputies responded to the scene and I assumed did their duty." He added he would welcome a highway patrol investigation and declined to comment further. The sheriff says the highway patrol would have done the investigation had the prosecutor called 911 in the first place.
Christine Byers reporting. Tonight, the Kirkwood City Council discussing plans to close a busy downtown street and turn it over to a local church. The proposal would close Jefferson Avenue between Clay and Harrison. St. Peter Catholic Church would spend $600,000 to build a cul-de-sac uniting the church and its school campus. Church leaders say it's about improving safety for students. The council will take up the measure for a first reading and a vote at tonight's meeting at 7.
In just a few hours, a St. Louis Board of Aldermen committee will discuss how to spend that RAM settlement money. They also want more public input on the nearly $800 million that's there after they received 12,000 votes in a public survey. The top choices were to replace the water mains, redesign streets, and give city workers raises. The committee will meet from 6 to 8 tonight. Getting pulled over while behind the wheel can be a nerve-wracking experience. One mom's invention for sharing your documents while keeping your hands on the wheel.
4 local charities teaming up to tackle the lack of affordable housing. The homes they're making available for low-income families.